Bo, said to be the name of a Danish general who so terrified his opponent foe that he caused him to be bourré himself. Hence, when we smell a stink, it is a custom to exclaim foe, i.e. I smell General Foe. We cannot say Bo to a goose, i.e. he is cowardly sheepish fellow. There is a story related to the celebrated Ben Jonson, who always dressed very plain, that being introduced to the presence of a nobleman, the peers, struck by his homely appearance and awkward manner, exclaimed, as if in doubt, you Ben Jonson, why you look as if you could not say Bo to a goose. Bo, replied the wit. Bold as a miller's shirt, which every day takes a rogue by the collar. Bolt, a blunt arrow. Bolt, upright, as erect or straight up as an arrow, set on its end. To bolt, to run suddenly out of one's house or hiding place, through fear, a term borrowed from a rabbit warren where the rabbits are made to bolt. By sending ferrets into their burrows, we set the house on fire and made him bolt. To bolt also means to swallow meat without chewing. The farmer's servants in Kent are famous for bolting large quantities of pickled pork. Bones, dice. Bone box, the mouth. Shut your bone box. Shut your mouth. Bone picker, a footman. Boned, seized, apprehended, taken by a constable. Cunt. Bolus, a nickname for an apothecary. Bone setter, a hard trotting horse. Booby or dog booby, an awkward lout. Clodhopper or country fellow. See clodhopper and lout, a bitch booby, a country wen. Booby hutch, a one-horse chase. Noddy, buggy or leaf and bottle. Books, cards to play with. A plant, to plant the books, to place the cards in the pack in an unfair manner. Bookkeeper, one who never returns borrowed books, out of one's fever, out of his books, out of debt. Boot catcher, the servant at an inn whose business it is to clean the boots of the guest. Boots. The youngest officer in a regimental mess, whose duty is to skink, that is to stir the fire, snuff the candles and ring the bell. See skink, to ride in anyone's old boots, to marry or keep his cast-off mistress. Booty, to play booty, cheating play where the player purposely avoids winning. Bo peep, one who sometimes hides himself and sometimes appears publicly abroad, is said to play at bo peep. Also one who lies perdu or on the watch. Borrachio, a skin for holding wine, commonly a goat's, also a nickname for a drunkard. Board, a shilling, a half board, a sixpence. Bordello, a bawdy house. Bore, a tedious, troublesome man or woman, one who bores the ears of his hearers with an uninteresting tale, a term much in the fashion about the years 1780 and 1781. Born under a threepenny, halfpenny planet, never to be worth a groat, said of any person remarkably unsuccessful in his attempts or profession. Botch, a nickname for a tailor, bothered or both-eared. Talk at both ears by different persons at the same time, confounded, confused Irish phrase. Bothrooms, a convivial society. Bottle-headed, a void of wit. Bottom, a polite term for the posteriors. Also, in the sporting sense, strength and spirits to support fatigue, as a bottomed horse. Among bruisers, it is used to express a hardy fellow who will bear a good beating. Bottomless pit, the monosyllable. Bows, wide in the bows with large hips and posteriors. Bows, he is up in bows, he is in a passion. To bounce, to brag or hector, also to tell an improbable story, to bully a man out of anything. The kiddie bounced the swell of the bollen, the lad bullied the gentleman out of the girl. Bouncer, a large man or woman, also a great lie. Bouncing cheat, a bottle from the explosion in drawing the cork. Cunt, bong, a purse cunt. Bong nipper, a cut purse cunt. Formerly purses were worn at the girdle, from whence they were cut. Booze or booze, drink, boozy drunk. Bowsing ken, an alehouse or gin shop. Bowsprit, the nose, from its being the most projecting part of the human face, as the bowsprit is of a ship. Bow wow, the childish name for a dog, also a jeering appellation for a man born at Boston in America. Bow wow mutton, dog's flesh. Bow wow shop, a salesman shop in Monmouth Street, so called because the servants bark and the master bites. See Barker. Barker. Boyer, one that draws a long bow, a dealer in the marvellous, the wonderful shots frequently boasted of by archers to box the compass, to say or repeat the mariner's compass not only backwards or forwards, but also to be able to answer any and all questions respecting its divisions. Sea term. To box the juiciate and get cockroaches. A sea term for masturbation. A crime, it is said, much practised by the reverend fathers of that society. Brace. The Brace Tavern, a room in the S.E. corner of the King's Bench, where for the convenience of prisoners residing thereabouts beer purchased at the tap house was retailed a halfpenny per pot advance. It was kept by two brothers of the name of Partridge, and thence called the Brace. Bracket-faced, ugly, hard-featured. Braggart. Mead and ale sweetened with honey. Braggadocia. Vain, glorious fellow, a boaster. Brains. If you had as much brains as guts, what a clever fellow you would be. A saying to a stupid fat fellow, to have some guts in his brains, to know something. Bran-faced. Freckled. He was christened by a baker. He carries the bran on his face. Brandy-faced. Red-faced, as if from drinking brandy. Brandy. Brandy is Latin for a goose, a memento, to prevent the animal from rising in the stomach by a glass of the good creature. Brat, a child or infant. Bray, a vicar of Bray, one who frequently changes his principles, always siding with the strongest party, an allusion to a vicar of Bray, in Berkshire, commemorated in a well-known ballad for the pliability of his conscience. Brazen-faced, bold-faced, shameless, impudent. Bread and butter fashion. One slice upon the other. John and his maid were caught lying bread and butter fashion, to quarrel with one's bread and butter, to act contrary to one's interest, to know on which side one's bread is buttered, to know one's interest or what is best for one. It is no bread and butter of mine. I have no business with it, or rather, I won't intermeddle, because I shall get nothing by it. Break-teeth words. Hard words, difficult to pronounce. Breaking shins. Borrowing money, perhaps from the figuratively operation, being, like the real one, extremely disagreeable to the patient. Bread. Employment out of bread. Out of employment, in bad bread, in a disagreeable scrape or situation. Bread basket. The stomach, a term used by boxers. I took him a punch in his bread basket, i.e. I gave him a blow in the stomach. Breast fleet. He or she belongs to a breast fleet, i.e. is a Roman Catholic, an appellation derived from the custom of beating their breasts in the confession of their sins. Breeched. Money in the pocket. The swell is well breeched. Let's draw him. The gentleman has plenty of money in his pocket. Let us rob him. Breeches. To wear the breeches. A woman who governs her husband is said to wear the breeches. Breeches Bible. An edition of the Bible printed in 1598, wherein it is said that Adam and Eve sewed fig leaves together and made themselves breeches. Breeze. To raise a breeze, to kick up a dust or breed a disturbance. Bridge. To make a bridge off anyone's nose, to push the bottle past him so as to deprive him of his turn of filling his glass to pass one over. Also to play booty or purposely avoid winning. Brim. Abbreviation of brimstone. An abandoned woman, perhaps originally only a passionate or irascible woman compared to brimstone for its inflammability. Brisket beater, a Roman Catholic, see breast fleet and craw thumper. Bristol milk, a Spanish wine called sherry, much drunk at that place, particularly in the morning. Bristol man, the son of an Irish thief and a Welsh whore. British champagne, porter. Broganier, one who has a strong Irish pronunciation or accent. Brogue, a particular kind of shoe without a heel, worn in Ireland and figuratively used to signify the Irish accent. Brother of the blade, a soldier. Buskin, a player. Bung, a brewer. Quill, an author. String, a fiddler. Whip, a coachman. Brother starling, one who lies with the same woman, that is, builds in the same nest. Brotonian, a boxer, a disciple of Broughton, who was a beef-eater and once the best boxer of his day. Brown bees, a soldier's firelock, to hug brown Bess. To carry a firelock or serve as a private soldier. Brown George, an ammunition loaf, a wig without powder, similar to the undress wig worn by His Majesty. Brown Madam or Miss Brown, the monosyllable. Brown study, set of one absent. in a reverie or thoughtful. Bruiser, a boxer, one skilled in the art of boxing, also an inferior workman among chasers. Bruise or browse, the fat scum from the pot in which salted beef is boiled. To brush, to run away. Let us buy a brush and lope. Let us go away or off. Have a brush with a woman, to lie with her. To have a brush with a man, to fight with him. The cove cracked the peter and bought a brush. The fellow broke open the trunk and then ran away. Brusher, a bumper, a full glass, a bumper. Bub, strong beer. Bubber, a drinking bowl. Also a great drinker, a thief that steals plates from public houses. Cunt. The bubble. The party cheated, perhaps from his being like an air bubble, filled with words which are only wind instead of real property. The to bubble, to cheat.